Alright, since I haven't did a video in a week, because I was out of town, I just thought I would hop on before work and see what I can do. Because I know my last couple videos I was talking about spiritual journeys and the law of attraction, repetition, like growth versus fixed mindset. So while I was gone, I kind of was watching a lot of Joe Dispenza, and he was talking more about the present moment, and like that's the most powerful thing in the world is in this moment, because that's the only thing that we can actually do is when we're in this moment. So like when we're worried about the past or worried about the future, then our energy is being put into the past and in the future, so it makes it harder to actually be right here and do the things that you need to do. Because again, we can't do anything about the past. The only thing we can do is learn from it. It happened. I mean, the things that happened to us were just experiences we needed to have to get to this point in our life where we're at. That doesn't mean we have to enjoy them. That doesn't mean we have to like not be upset about it. But sometimes you, like Tony always says, sometimes you got to blame the past for the person you are today too. You know, we blame it for all of our problems, all the things, our shortcomings that we think we have, and all these different reasons that we think it shouldn't have happened that way, or I wish it would have happened a different way. But what if it did? Well, maybe you wouldn't be where you are right now. And so, you know, maybe that thing that happened to you made you realize what you didn't want to be. Maybe, you know, I've read stories of people being so upset that it drove them to go to school to show, prove people wrong, and just do the things that they did to get where they are. And if they didn't have that fuel, then maybe they wouldn't have succeeded in that way. And again, yes, it does stop people. There's no doubt about that. But again, you can't let it stop you from being you. You can't let it stop you from like at least enjoying life. I mean, yeah, not everything's easy, not everything's always great, but sometimes we got to realize we have to go through the bad stuff to get to where we want to go. And I know it's not enjoyable. I haven't enjoyed some of the experiences in my life, but as I look back on them, I'm like, well, it pushed me to do this. Like, you know, I remember one time something happened and I got rejected or whatever, and I used that fuel as to, you know what, I got to do something with my life. So I went back to school and finished my bachelor's degree. But without that experience, it might not have gave me that fuel to get it done. And then I said, nothing's going to stop me this time. I just put my foot down and went and got it done. So again, those are the things that we can use as fuel to push us into the person that we want to be, and that we got to like make that decision to become that person. Because again, if I would have did all the things I did that stopped me from getting my bachelor's degree, if I'd have continued to do those, which was party too much, not study enough, putting partying first instead of school, I switched that around. I put school first, and then if I had to celebrate, then maybe I would go out. But when the work was done. So again, you have to change your behaviors, you have to change your patterns, and they're not going to change overnight. It takes time. That's why I was saying repetition. Over time, we keep going back to the things that we have learned. You can't just learn one thing at once, it won't sink in. I mean, again, I read a quote the other day that said, we're not willing to put 4 years of hard work into our dreams, but yeah, we're willing to put 40 years into something we don't want to do. And I was like, wow, I never thought of it like that. Like, we have to put the work in, you know, you have to, if you want to get somewhere, you have to make a little bit of sacrifices. You have to pay attention to your time. You might have to let go of some of the things you do that waste your time. I know in the past I have. I know I used to watch Sports Center two, three, four times at night when I got home from work. And when I started meditating, I said, well, you know what? I'll stop watching one Sports Center, go to bed an hour early, and I'll wake up an hour early so I can do my meditation and do that hour of power. So again, it's like one little shift can create a whole over time can create a whole new you. It's like Dean was always saying, that 1 millimeter shift. As you're going, he likes to use that tractor analogy. Like as you go out, and even that one little millimeter shift, the farther you get going, all of a sudden 200 yards later, you're nowhere near the old direction. But we always think it has to be some big thing, so we won't make that change because it has to be something drastic. Like these people, these successful people are doing something that's so much greater than what I'm capable of. I used to think that myself, that there was so much that you had to do, and really it's not. It's just like the little things. It's the little things to keep watching stuff, like watching these videos. I hadn't watched Dr. Joe's videos in a month. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I recommend him, man. The guy's amazing. And the thing is he's starting to put the spiritual in with the science. He's starting to prove these things. And he's had some really crazy results with meditation and the spiritual stuff he does. It's pretty remarkable. And it's just more about thinking in the moment and being that person and realizing that you have to make those changes. No one's going to make the changes for you. No one's going to. You have to do it yourself, no matter what. It's like Dean also says, likes to say, no one's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. The only way you're going to get somewhere else is to do something different. And again, it was a good reminder, and I would like put them on my plugged my phone into my radio on the way home and listen to them, and I'm like, you know what, I should start doing this a lot more, because it's that repetition of all the stuff, and then you remember stuff that you forgot about, like being in the present moment, feeling in the present moment, because the you got to create the feeling states inside you and then push them out into the world. We've always been taught to use the outside world to determine how we feel. Like, oh, I'm having a bad day because this, and this happened to me, and it wasn't what I wanted to happen to me. And then we have a day where there is good stuff from the outside world. You get a promotion, you get you win some money or whatever, and then you're like, this is a good day because I have more money, which it is. But at the end of the day, we let these outside circumstances determine how we feel on the inside. When we can project, like visualize, and like during these meditations, I visualize myself. How would I feel if I did have that $1 million? How would I feel if I did have this when I'm doing this stuff and I'm helping people, and people are like my content, or at least, it helps them, because I'm hoping that, people have epiphanies. They're like, wow, I never thought of it like that, because that's one of the things I enjoy most in my life. So I feel myself as the people getting that stuff out of it, people getting excited about what I'm saying, realizing that they can do the same things that we can all do. We're all human beings. We can all capable of finding a way if we really, 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 really want to. You just got to want to do it. You got to have that, motivation, that will to get it done and to figure it out. You have to have that aim so you know where you're going. Again, you don't always. It's not always a bad thing if you don't reach your goals, but if you don't set them, at least if you set them, it gives you a direction to go in. And no matter if you reach that goal or not, you made an attempt, you learned some stuff, you growed, and then if you didn't reach it, you found out what not to do. And like Tony always says, man, keep doing it over. Try something else. If that doesn't work, try something else. And I will say that forever, because again, that's how you get to where you want to go. And eventually something will happen. Something will hit. Something will stick. Because like I said, over the weekend or over the week, God, it's been such a long week. Over the weekend and the week. But anyway, it's been a long week. I did, like, the epiphanies was like, wow, I forgot about that. You gotta practice it throughout the day. Like, I remember Eckhart Tolle used to always say, at the top of each hour, close your eyes and take 2 deep breaths and feel present and be in this moment. Like right now, do it with me. Feels good. And then you open your eyes and you feel that. And if you start doing that more and more throughout your day, so we don't deep breathe enough, man. Getting that oxygen in your lungs is so beneficial. Taking those deep breaths, even telling yourself. I think I said before in another video, when I used to play softball in between pitches, if it was like a stressful situation, when they threw the pitcher back to the ball, I would close my eyes, take 2 deep breaths, and tell myself, relax, focus, and play. And then when it wasn't 100%, but a lot of the times it helped me relax in the stressful situations to create, to play better. And we can do that in life, play the game of life better. In those moments of high stress, remember, I got this. Reinforce that belief, man. Trust me, I know I had a lot of negative beliefs, and it's took me a long way to push all some of that stuff aside, most of it aside. I won't say all of it's gone yet, but a lot more of it's gone than it used to be. But again, it's doing these things and practicing these things and doing it over and over and being in the moment and remembering that we can come back to this moment. If you're ever looking for a good movie, The Peaceful Warrior is really good at talking about that. Dan Millman wrote a book about it, about how to be in the present moment. That guy shattered his femur in like 26 places. They had to put a metal rod in his leg. The doctors told him he'd never be able to compete again. He was a gymnast back in the 70s, and not only he defied logic, defied the doctors, and came back and competed. But he did it through a spiritual way of visualizing it, kind of just like Dr. Joe Dispenza healed his back with his mind. We're capable of doing more when we focus our attention in the moment and focus on what it is we can do and not worry about what any of the outside world says. Feel it in the heart, feel it in the soul, push through with that energy from within. And a lot of times you harness that by with your eyes closed, because when your eyes are closed, you're looking within. So you take those deep breaths and tell yourself, we got this, I got this, let's go. Now, again, like I said, nothing is 100%, but the percentages go up the more you do it. I started practicing this stuff and for before my softball games. And within 3 or 4 years, I was one of the best players in the league. I was able to extend, and Dan Millman taught me it doesn't matter what your athletic level is, but this stuff will raise your level to whatever level that was. Mine was just modified softball, but I still enjoyed it and I still became really good. I was having my best seasons when I was supposed to be on the downfall. Like 38, 39, 40, 41 were my best seasons when you were supposed to be declining. I was still growing. So again, it shows that I wish I would have known this when I was younger. I couldn't imagine what would have happened if I'd have did this in my 20s. That's why I want to teach it, because I want people to see it. I want people to realize that we all can do this. But again, it just takes that will to, hey, I want to learn more. I want to be more. I want to keep pushing more. I want to see what I can do with this body, no matter what age I am, that we can all do it. We can all start now, and we can all start becoming more aware of these practices and put them into practice. It's not something that's going to happen one time and you're going to do one time and it's going to have a great transformation. It might start there. And that was the thing too, is that we can't expect the growth to happen overnight. You plant a seed in the ground and you water it and you fertilize it and you give it food, you give it sunlight, and eventually it'll sprout. But for the most part in the beginning, it's just growing roots underground. So a lot of times when you start doing this stuff, you don't see results right away. It takes time, but you got to keep going no matter what. That's what faith is. It's having that faith that the results are going to come, but you have to do your part by keep doing the repetition, keep doing the stuff, and wanting to become more. So in the end, it's all up to us. I mean, it starts with you. Like Trent Shelton always says, it starts with you. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to see the results, you got to put in the work. You got to do the stuff. You got to learn, watch the videos, do the practices, do the meditations, do anything. Anything more than you're doing right now if you want to go somewhere else. Make that millimeter shift and then keep doing it and see where you go. And get excited about where it could go. It could go anywhere. We live in a limitless, infinite possible world. I can't even speak right, but still, that's what we live in. See, look what I just said. Definitely didn't know that was coming. But anyway, so we are capable of doing more than we ever thought we could. We're just not taught how to. So my goal is to try to teach people how to become more, how to change their mindset. And by changing their mindset, it'll change their body, it'll change everything. Everything will change if you keep doing it with repetition and excitement and joy, and realizing that bad stuff's going to happen along the way. It's not always going to be roses and unicorns. But at the end of the day, use those opportunities as fuel to learn from it. Feel it. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to feel it and let it go. Don't hold on to it. If you're angry, feel that anger and be like, ah, but then let it go. Because again, you can't be angry forever. I mean, maybe some people can be, but I feel like there's no reason to. So again, just do whatever you can in the moment. If you want to go somewhere else, you want to go somewhere higher, just start something. Even research some of this stuff too. NLP, meditation, yoga, present moment awareness. All this stuff kind of helps you focus in on that divine energy that's inside of us and connect to it through us, and then bring it out into the world. So that I guess that's my message that I didn't even know I was going to do. And just start somewhere. Don't get frustrated. Keep working at it. If you don't see results, hey, they're coming eventually. That's the thing too, is we can't get attached to when the results come. What if you're one day away from a breakthrough? It's like Joe Dispenza was saying that the breakthrough doesn't text you and tell you when it's coming. And I started laughing when I heard that. I was like, yeah, it doesn't. You have no idea when it's going to happen. And I've had the days where I've wanted to quit, and then all of a sudden the next day, all of a sudden I'm on top of the world and something like snaps, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I didn't. So that's my message for the day. If you like the video, like and subscribe. I just want to keep getting this channel going, and I'll start putting more work on it and create some courses too. I've been getting some ideas with my friend and with myself, so it's coming. Just be patient. But again, at the end of the day, just keep that focus, keep that dream, don't you're never too old, you're never too young, you're never too anything to keep chasing a dream and to go after it and get it. So maybe I hope this is like helps one person get that motivation to keep pushing forward and never give up, because that's the only way we fail, is if we give up. And always keep learning, always keep growing, always try to go in a better direction. So all right, you guys have a good day.